Hey, Brian from SnakeBytes here. I'm here with John Basedow. You might know him from Fitness Made Simple. He has a new cool YouTube channel called New Media Stew, and of course Bud 60. We're at the Reptile Show. We're going to check out some really cool animals. You're watching SnakeBytes. One of the first things that I notice is John is pretty adept at what's going on with animals. He pretty much knows everything in this entire place, but I noticed that he's a tortoise guy. So tell me a little bit about your tortoise experience in this little guy.
I am actually, I have had tortoises and turtles all of my life. This is a leopard tortoise, desert tortoise, which is one of my favorites right here. Really, really hardy animal. What I liked about tortoises, Brian, was that with minimal care, you could really keep them looking great. Also, they're easy to take care of pets, and they're a lot of fun. And the thing about the tortoise is it always wins the race. You know, it may be slow to start, but it gets the job done. And I just love these guys. There's something about them that made me think it's like prehistoric times in today's world.
That's awesome. Well, let's go look at some other stuff.
You got it.
This is a really cool animal that John is holding, and as you notice, the business end is facing towards me. I tell you what, you don't want to get your finger in that guy's mouth. This is an alligator snapping turtle. And again, you can see the little tongue in there. It's that little red fleshy piece. They'll actually sit on the bottom of this mucky water in the Mississippi mainly, and they'll just wait for fish to come up and think it's a little worm. When the fish goes in, it snaps it and it just eats it. These guys are definitely opportunistic feeders. What do you think about this guy, John?
What I like about him is he pretty much makes all the business come to him. Lazy ass turtle right here, but because of that lure, he's got cleverness. You want to be smart, you want to work smarter rather than work harder, which is exactly what he does. Waves that little lure, gets a fish to come to him. You don't need Fitness Made Simple then to run after it.
A signed t-shirt from which band hangs in Brian's office? Is it A, Slipknot, B, Korn, or C, Slayer? Answer with a comment and keep watching to see if you're right.
Okay, gang, we are joined now by someone that people on my channel would know. This is Miss Fran Capra. She does the movie reviews with me and also some events and things like that. And she is
the Guinness Book of World Records fastest talking female, 603.32 words a minute, 11 words a second. And I noticed this is how I got the turtle to shut its mouth.
You notice she is the only one that the alligator snapping turtle is not opening its mouth with.
He knows
it just gave up.
He knows there is no competition.
This is like, my mouth is shut.
Hey, just like the turtles.
So this is actually a common boa constrictor from Colombia. And again, this guy's going to get maybe 6 or 7 foot long, maybe 8 foot, and a really big female. But as you can see,
and it's a beautiful necklace too.
It's great, but you can see it's a really great pet animal. It's really friendly. It doesn't want to squeeze you or hurt you. And
beautiful snake though.
It is really great, and again, these make great pets for people that want something that's a little bit bigger, but not so big like a monster. And as you can see, taking that out to a red carpet event would be awesome. Okay, John, what we have here are green tree pythons, and what's really amazing about this example is the fact that the anthropomorphism of this animal, which basically just means that when they're born either yellow or red, and then of course with age, at about 1.5 to 2 years, they're going to turn green. And there's a real simple explanation for that, and that's basically just the fact that when it's flowering as babies, they're going to stay in the flowers, but as they get older,
so it blends in with camouflage.
Exactly, and they're going to completely be safe. And then when it gets older, it's going to go up into the foliage, and of course it needs to be much more. And as you can see, this guy's a little bit feisty.
He's full of nastiness, this yellow one. I'm keeping my distance from the yellow one. I have the nice green one.
Oh, I got both of them on me now.
Which makes a real gangsta type of brass knuckles over here on my hand.
And John, let me tell you a little bit about something about this, is that these guys have the largest teeth of any non-venomous reptile. So you've got a powerful...
He tells me that after we start taping.
Yeah. Look, I'm bleeding a little bit. I'm actually a blood donor today. All right, what we have here is a real treat. This animals didn't even exist in this country till about 2 years ago. These are albino Darwin's carpet pythons. And again, carpet pythons have been around for many, many years, but this particular mutation of albinism just came into America within the last 24 months. So it's really a pleasure that you get to handle something so rare and so unusual.
So this is actually a natural mutation though. This is not something that's man-made like some of the other snakes.
This is a color mutation that's bred. It's a recessive recessive trait, so it is man-made, but the original one actually popped up in Darwin about 10 years ago.
Really?
And it took a long time to get its way over here. And,
now, where
it's
are
really
these guys from?
Again, they're from Northern Territory, Australia.
Oh.
You know.
And what would you feed them?
Believe it or not, this size they're going to probably eat frozen medium rats. So,
medium rats?
yeah, these guys will take medium rats, believe it or not, which is a pretty good meal. But again, as you can see, they're certainly an arboreal snake. They're going to climb an awful lot. And I had the
Burn it off.
I had the pleasure to actually catch some Darwin's carpets in Northern Territory last year and see where they come from. It's really an amazing countryside up there.
I haven't been to Australia. I'd love to do that.
Yeah, it's a great place. And as you can see, here's some tarantulas.
Yeah.
All right, we have a Sumatran blood python here, and as you can see, they're really heavy.
And they're friendly, right?
Well, let's hope so. I'll be totally honest with you. A lot of them aren't friendly. But this one I think is pretty good because I've known it for about 30 seconds, and it seems to be okay. But you can see how heavy-bodied they are. I mean, these guys are it's got to be, what, maybe 40 pounds, 35, 40 pounds?
I would say he's like between 35 and 45 pounds. You also get a workout because he's not, he's moving weight. So the thing is, you've got to move with him. Another snake that is very effective as a weight on the Fitness Made Simple plan. Before I got started in Fitness Made Simple, I was quite the zoology buff. I knew pretty much every animal in the zoo by the age of 5. Never had a snake. I had turtles all my life. I had salamanders, frogs, lizards, geckos, all sorts of things that I would catch myself down south in Alabama and in Sweetwater, Texas. Horned toads, which are actually lizards, which have the life expectancy of soap bubbles because they die very quickly, unfortunately. But snakes, Mom would never let me have, but I like this blood python over here.
And of course,
and it's quite a workout too. See, there you go. You could curl the blood python.
And you could tell that's why I stay in such great shape.
We'll help Brian out with that too. This guy, special name, highbrow name, this is the hairy frog.
That's a nice name.
And one thing I found out about him is during the mating season, the males grow these long hairy filaments on their legs, possibly for oxygenation because it's the rainy season and everything. And they also have little claws. Frogs don't usually have claws on their feet and everything, which, for a defense mechanism, they break their finger so that the spike will show. And I'll tell you one thing, guys, he does have nails because now he's pretty quiet. I'm used to catching frogs in Alabama and everything. But he was digging those hind feet right there into my hand. You could tell he has some claws.
All right, guys, one of the most popular New Year's resolutions is to lose weight or to get into shape. And I want to know, what is your favorite physical activity? Do you like to jog or bike or swim? I personally really prefer running, but I want to know what you guys like to do. Or do you prefer to sit on the couch and do nothing and say, screw physical fitness? Leave a comment below and let us know.
So there it is. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and I can't tell you how much fun it was showing you around the show, John. And I was so impressed with his knowledge of the animals. John, I tell you, it wasn't something I expected at all when we first hooked up, but you blew me away with it. It's been a great time. Make sure to check John's YouTube channel out at youtube.com/John Basedow. He's a great guy, and he does a lot of really cool stuff. Until next week, you've been watching Snake Bites.
So what band's t-shirt is hanging in Brian's office?
Okay, so we've covered care, husbandry, breeding, hatching, all that stuff. Now let's just get into some really cool leopard geckos. Let's go ahead and start with this guy that's absolutely amazing. This is actually the very first dreamsicle that was ever produced. And basically a dreamsicle is a Max No Enigma raptor.